In the heart of an old, run-down carnival, where the lights flickered like the dying pulse of a forgotten world, stood an attraction that whispered tales of mystery and terror. The Mirror Maze, with its labyrinthine corridors lined with glass that seemed to stretch into infinity, beckoned the curious and the brave with a silent, eerie call. It was here, amidst the shadows and reflections, that our story unfolds. Jack, a young man whose spirit was as indomitable as the wind, found himself drawn to the carnival one fateful evening. His heart pounded with the thrill of the unknown, a sensation that was all too familiar and yet endlessly exciting. By his side was Sarah, his lifelong friend, whose intelligence and skepticism served as a grounding force to Jack's adventurous nature. She had heard the rumors, whispers of those who entered the Mirror Maze and never returned the same, if they returned at all. In her eyes, the carnival was a place of hidden dangers, but for Jack, it was a challenge waiting to be conquered. As they approached the entrance, a figure emerged from the shadows, tall and thin, cloaked in darkness. The Carnival Barker, with a voice as smooth and cold as ice, beckoned them closer. "Discover the hidden truths that lie within," he crooned, his eyes gleaming with a light that seemed not of this world. Jack's heart leaped at the opportunity, but Sarah hesitated, her instincts screaming for them to turn back. Yet, despite her warnings, Jack's decision was made. He would enter the Mirror Maze and face whatever secrets it held. With a determined stride, Jack stepped into the maze, the sound of his footsteps echoing off the glass walls. The reflections stared back at him, a multitude of Jacks that mimicked his every move, yet seemed to mock him with their silent gazes. The further he ventured, the more the maze seemed to twist and turn in impossible ways, disorienting him, leading him deeper into its heart. Sarah's voice, calling out to him from beyond the entrance, became a distant whisper, lost amidst the reflections. Time lost its meaning in the maze. Jack could no longer tell if he had been wandering for minutes or hours. The reflections began to play tricks on his mind, showing him images that couldn't possibly be real. Faces of strangers, twisted in fear and despair, flashed before him, only to disappear as quickly as they had appeared. Panic set in as the realization dawned on him that he was lost, with no sense of direction or hope of escape. When at last he emerged from the maze, the world he returned to was not the one he left behind. The carnival was deserted, the laughter and music replaced by an oppressive silence. He called out for Sarah, but there was no response, only the echo of his own voice. Confusion turned to horror as he tried to interact with the world around him, only to find that he was unseen, unheard, a ghost in his own life. Desperate for answers, Jack sought out the Carnival Barker, the only constant in this nightmare. It was then that the truth was revealed to him. The Barker, a malevolent spirit bound to the carnival, fed on the memories of those who dared enter the Mirror Maze. With each person that lost their way, the Barker grew stronger, trapping their essence within the mirrors, leaving behind nothing but empty shells. Jack realized that he was fading, his own memories slipping away like sand through his fingers. If he didn't act soon, he would disappear completely, another lost soul consumed by the maze. The key, he learned, was to confront the Barker and reclaim his reflection, the anchor to his identity and existence. Armed with this knowledge, Jack ventured once more into the Mirror Maze, his resolve stronger than ever. The maze, sensing his determination, twisted and convulsed, throwing obstacles in his path, but Jack pressed on. He faced his fears, the reflections that sought to confuse and mislead him, and found his way to the heart of the maze, where the Barker waited. The confrontation was unlike any Jack had ever experienced. The Barker, in his true form, was a creature of shadows and despair, his power drawn from the stolen memories of countless victims. But Jack, fueled by the love and memories of those he held dear, especially Sarah, fought with a strength that surprised even the Barker. It was a battle of wills, fought not with weapons, but with the very essence of their beings. In the end, Jack emerged victorious. The maze shattered, releasing the trapped souls back into the world, their memories restored. The Barker, weakened and defeated, vanished into the ether, his reign of terror brought to an end. Jack stumbled out of the maze, his reflection once again his own, greeted by the sight of Sarah, who had never given up hope. The carnival, with its lights and laughter, returned to life, as if waking from a long slumber. Jack and Sarah left that place behind, their bond stronger for having faced the darkness together. They knew that the world was full of mysteries and dangers, but they also knew that bravery, friendship, and love could conquer even the deepest fears. And so our story concludes, a tale of reflections and fear, of courage and redemption. In the end, it was not the maze that defined Jack, but his refusal to be consumed by it. For in the face of darkness, the brightest light often comes from within, reflecting the true strength of the human spirit.